Very good friend, a lover, a visionary for me, for dreams that I had and all the others.
Natalie Cole announced her marriage to her producer, Reverend Marvin Yancey Jr., on February 14, 1977.
Whitney Houston and Bobby Brown had a disturbing marriage. Their relationship was filled of drugs and fighting.
Unquestionably, romantic heartbreak is a tragedy no woman desires. However, such anguish impacted some of the most gifted and gorgeous black actresses. Is that believable? These striking black women, the captivating stars who graced Hollywood's heights, experienced devastating personal lows due to heartbreaking romances. Therefore, who were they? Let's explore the untold stories of 15 black actresses with profoundly tragic love lives. 15. The iconic Whitney Houston, a pop music queen, captivated audiences globally with her angelic vocals. Her unforgettable songs, including I Will Always Love You, solidified her legendary status throughout the 1980s and 90s, garnering widespread acclaim for her beauty and talent. However, beneath this glittering exterior, her personal life was marked by tumultuous relationships, intense fame, and internal struggles. At the 1989 Soul Train Music Awards, she encountered Bobby Brown. Their passionate connection, though initially vibrant, soon turned agonizing. Their 1992 marriage became a battleground as Whitney's love for Bobby morphed into a harrowing experience. Bobby Brown's controlling behavior, inflicting emotional and physical harm, plunged their relationship into a vortex of domestic turmoil and substance abuse. The once radiant star began to wilt under the immense pressure. His 2003 arrest for assaulting her publicly unveiled the devastation of their marriage. Ultimately, Whitney's life tragically ended, her light extinguished in isolation and sorrow. On February 11, 2012, she passed away in a bathtub, a heartbreaking conclusion to a life fraught with challenges. Her death served as a poignant reminder of the devastating costs of fame and the often broken promises of love. 14. Esther Rolle, the iconic portrayal of black womanhood in the 1970s, famously embodied Florida Evans in Good Times. She projected strength and resilience, a mother's unwavering perseverance. Yet, concealed beneath this public image lay deep emotional wounds. In 1955, she married Oscar Robinson, hoping for a tranquil life. Their connection stemmed from shared poverty, a common ground amidst hardship. This happiness proved fleeting. A 1957 dispute over finances escalated violently. Their argument raged in their small room, its intensity overshadowing the outdoor rain. Esther cowered, while Oscar, his eyes red and face contorted with fury, unleashed cruel words. Her pleas for understanding fell on deaf ears. His rage physically overwhelmed her. The 1960s were marked by ongoing abuse, despite Esther's attempts to salvage the marriage. She finally separated in 1973, embracing solitude. Though her career flourished, the pain lingered. Her death in 1998 left a void and a lingering question. Why did such a powerful woman suffer so intensely? 13. Ruby Dee, a life marked by both brilliance and sorrow. The celebrated actress, known for her role in A Raisin in the Sun, enjoyed a remarkable career, yet carried a deep emotional burden. Throughout her professional triumphs, Ruby Dee's love faced severe trials. In 1948, her marriage to Ossie Davis, a gifted and captivating man, seemed an enviable union. Yet, beneath the surface of their admired partnership, discord simmered. Starting in the 1960s, gossip about Ossie's infidelity surfaced. Ruby, a woman of strength and dignity, was compelled to confront this painful reality. Initially, she resisted the truth, but mounting evidence forced her to acknowledge it. Ossie confessed his failings, and though deeply hurt, Ruby forgave him. They navigated their challenges, restoring their trust and continuing their life together. However, the pain persisted, a hidden wound only Ruby felt. In 2005, Ossie's death left Ruby with poignant memories and grief. She continued her artistic contributions, but her heart carried a weight of sorrow. Ruby Dee's passing in 2014 concluded a life of great highs and lows. Her enduring love, tested by adversity, stands as a testament to forgiveness and devotion, yet also a poignant reminder of wounds that never completely healed. 12. Michelle Nichols. The Ache of a Forbidden Romance. Michelle Nichols, an iconic singer and actress renowned for her portrayal of Uhura in Star Trek, was not just a representation of black feminism and culture during the 1960s and 70s, but also a woman privately enduring the hurt of a love that could not be. Upon joining the Star Trek cast, she encountered Gene Roddenberry, the visionary behind that expansive universe. From their initial collaboration, their gazes connected, and a profound love quietly flourished, concealed due to Gene's existing marriage. Late-night discussions, shared smiles in dim light, fleeting touches behind the scenes. These served as evidence of an ardent affection, a love to which Michelle devoted herself completely. As the 1960s progressed, Michelle confronted a heartbreaking reality. Gene would never abandon his family. Despite their professional and emotional bond, their love remained an unrealized aspiration, a melody left incomplete. Solitary nights, silent weeping. Michelle understood she must learn to accept, to coexist with those bittersweet recollections. Following Gene's passing in 1991, Michelle stood solemnly in remorse, unable to publicly grieve as others could. She couldn't mourn him as a wife or friend would, only bidding him a silent farewell, carrying the burden of a clandestine affection, a love that would perpetually remain unvoiced. Ultimately, she lived alone, cherishing the memories of Gene, recollections that were simultaneously solace and a persistent, poignant sorrow that would forever reside within her heart. 11. Eartha Kitt, a harsh reality revealed following the nuptials. Possessing sharp feline eyes and a melodious voice, Eartha Kitt was a mesmerizing icon of glamour in 1950s and 60s America. However, beneath the striking cosmetics resided a spirit bearing the marks of abuse, tormented by evenings steeped in violent darkness. In 1960, she encountered John William MacDonald, a man captivated by her untamed attractiveness. They wed, anticipating refuge after years of instability. Immediately after their wedding, however, his true nature, a raging tempest, emerged. MacDonald, an alcoholic, transformed their residence into a war zone, with Kitt as the unwilling victim of his irrational anger. For years, she endured a horrific existence, longing for escape, yet inexplicably drawn back. By 1964, she obtained a divorce, bearing invisible wounds far more painful than any physical injury. She bravely raised her daughter alone, regaining her strength. Yet the specters of those bleak periods, sleepless nights, and haunting recollections pursued her until her death. 10. The celebrated Broadway actress Nell Carter, a woman known for her dazzling smile, privately endured profound emotional pain. She married George Kronicki in 1982, seeking solace from her demanding career. However, George's struggle with alcoholism transformed her hopes into a living torment. Following a 1983 party, George's abusive behavior resulted in physical injuries to Nell. Within the confines of their home, the festive sounds from the party masked Nell's silent anguish. George, his features obscured by apprehension, remained unmoved by Nell's pleas for help. She succumbed to despair, her tears reflecting the devastation wrought by her husband's actions. Over the subsequent years, George's addiction intensified, plunging Nell into a deepening depression. Their marriage ended in divorce in 1992, yet the emotional wounds lingered. Nell's death in 2003 was attributed to complications arising from diabetes and heart failure, the long-term effects of her years of hardship. Her passing resembled the dimming of a radiant star, creating a void in the hearts of her countless admirers. 9. Diahann Carroll, a celebrated beauty and talent, experienced unfulfilled happiness. The iconic Hollywood actress Diane Carroll achieved stardom in the 1960s and 70s, notably through her role in Julia. Yet her romantic life was marked by undisclosed hardships. A passionate relationship with Sidney Poitier in the 1960s proved unsustainable when Poitier prioritized his family, refusing a divorce. This heartbreak left Diane with lasting emotional pain. She later sought marital stability with Vic Dion, but faced domestic abuse. This prolonged abuse ultimately ended the marriage in 1996, leaving her alone once more. Despite her remarkable career achievements, Diane never attained complete personal fulfillment. Her later years were shadowed by painful memories from failed relationships, wounds that remained unhealed. Finally, on October 4, 2019, at age 84, Diane Carroll died in Los Angeles, following a prolonged struggle with breast cancer. Her passing concluded a legendary career, but also signified liberation from a life burdened by profound emotional scars. 8. The celebrated actress Dorothy Dandridge, a 1950s Hollywood beauty icon, achieved a historic milestone as the first black woman nominated for an Academy Award. However, even her dazzling success couldn't conceal the profound emotional wounds she carried. These were wounds inflicted by the cruelties of love. One evening in 1942, amidst the vibrant atmosphere of the Cotton Club, Dorothy encountered Harold Nicholas, a supremely talented dancer. Their shared artistry ignited a passionate romance, culminating in marriage and dreams of enduring happiness. Unfortunately, life proved less harmonious. Rumors of Harold's infidelity surfaced, shattering their idyllic union. The pain intensified when Harold left her alone with their infant daughter, Harolyn, who was born with brain damage. Seeking solace, Dorothy found herself drawn to Otto Preminger. While casting Carmen Jones, the renowned director was captivated by her remarkable talent and beauty. Their clandestine encounters and unfulfilled promises offered a flicker of hope. Yet, her trust in love was irrevocably damaged. By the late 1950s, Otto abandoned her, leaving Dorothy heartbroken and desolate. Then, in 1965, a tragic scene unfolded. In a dimly lit hotel room, Dorothy's lonely form was silhouetted by a faint, golden light alongside scattered sleeping pills. It seemed a final resignation to love's persistent torment. Dorothy Dandridge, a woman of exceptional talent and elegance, passed away alone, overwhelmed by despair, her spirit scarred by the devastating impact of her romantic experiences. While audiences remember her through her enduring films and songs, few comprehend the immense personal sacrifice she made for fame. She relinquished her personal happiness, ultimately surrendering her life for the ephemeral allure of the stage. Once the spotlight dimmed, she was left utterly alone, lost in an agonizing, silent emptiness. 7. Tamara Dobson, A Crushing Burden. Tamara Dobson, a 1970s icon of black feminism, powerfully portrayed Cleopatra Jones, yet privately harbored a delicate spirit. In 2003, a multiple sclerosis diagnosis led Tamara to find solace in a mystery man within the entertainment world. She envisioned him as her unwavering support during the upcoming struggles. Initially, he provided constant care and encouragement, a steadfast presence. She embraced his assurances, confident their love would conquer any challenge. However, as her illness progressed, a stark reality surfaced. Her former companion withdrew his support. By 2004, Tamara lay despondent, resigned to his absence. Communication dwindled, his vows dissolving. By 2005, with her health declining drastically, he completely vanished, leaving Tamara devastated and betrayed in her most vulnerable state. The resolute woman of the screen confronted unimaginable solitude in her final moments. She died in 2006, bearing the agony of desertion and the sting of lost love at her most desperate hour. She left a void among her admirers and a lingering question. Why did such a formidable and gifted woman experience such profound heartbreak? 6. Pam Grier. Cleopatra Jones wept after a devastating phone call. A formidable symbol of black womanhood in 1970s cinema, Pam Grier's on-screen strength masked deep emotional pain. Her captivating power held audiences, but few witnessed the quiet suffering that plagued her. During the vibrant mid-70s, Pam encountered Freddie Prinze through professional contacts. Their shared artistic passion and free spirits ignited a romance, blossoming amidst late-night discussions and lively debates. However, reality proved far from idyllic. Pam soon witnessed Freddie's hidden struggles. He'd frequently collapse at home, succumbing to substance abuse, enduring long periods of depression, and engaging in volatile arguments reflecting his inner turmoil. One evening, she returned to find their apartment disturbingly silent. The door swung open, revealing Freddie unconscious on the sofa, an empty bottle nearby, and scattered pills on the table. His breathing was shallow. Frantically, Pam summoned emergency aid. Yet, upon arrival, he awoke, dismissing it as fatigue. She recognized a deeper issue. On January 29, 1977, Freddie's desperate plea echoed through the phone. His trembling voice declared, "I can't take it anymore," followed by an apology. Before Pam could fully process his words, a gunshot shattered the silence. He was dead, leaving her with unanswered questions and a broken heart. Following his death, she suppressed her emotions, dedicating herself to her career as a coping mechanism. But the agony persisted, an enduring wound. What surpasses the agony of witnessing a loved one's suicide? Pam Grier, seemingly invincible on screen, paid dearly for love, exchanging happiness for iconic roles, forever haunted by memories and the gunshot's lingering echo. 5. Juanita Moore, A Tragic Night's Unexpected Agony. The acclaimed African-American actress of 1950s and 60s Hollywood, celebrated for her Oscar-nominated performance in Imitation of Life, possessed immense talent, yet a resilient exterior masked a heart deeply wounded by loss. In 1953, Juanita discovered true love with Charles Burris, a kind and compassionate man. Their paths crossed through mutual acquaintances in the film industry, and they quickly formed a strong bond, united by shared understanding of the hardships faced by black people in Hollywood during that era. Juanita considered Charles her ideal partner, a man she believed would support her through any adversity. Their time together was among the happiest periods of Juanita's life. They shared aspirations, dreams, and confronted life's challenges as a team. Juanita felt their love was eternal. Destiny, however, had a different plan, cruelly snatching away her joy. On the fateful night of November 14, 1953, Juanita received a devastating call from law enforcement. They conveyed the tragic news of Charles's death in a terrible car accident. His vehicle plunged from a cliff. Juanita was stunned, overwhelmed by the impossible news. The man she cherished, her sanctuary, was gone. After Charles's passing, Juanita was engulfed by sorrow. She withdrew, immersing herself in her acting to alleviate the pain. Her performances became richer, more emotionally resonant, as if she used her art to express her inner suffering. Yet, despite her efforts, Juanita could never truly forget Charles. The loss remained, a permanent wound on her heart. Juanita Moore, the powerful figure on screen, endured profound isolation in the following years. Her passing in 2014 left behind the ache of her loss, the mark of a love shattered. A void remains in the hearts of her admirers, and a question persists. Why should such a gifted, empathetic woman experience such profound grief? 4. Diana Ross, the anguish of a betrayed music icon. Diana Ross, the iconic lead singer of the Supremes, was a Motown legend whose chart-topping successes and dazzling beauty captivated millions. Her stage presence was electrifying, but behind the scenes, her personal life was a tempest of sorrow and disappointment. She encountered Berry Gordy upon joining Motown, a pivotal figure who launched her to stardom. Their passionate romance was ultimately unfulfilling. When Diana gave birth to Rhonda in 1971, hoping for a lasting commitment, Gordy rejected her. Her trust shattered upon discovering his secret affair with another young Motown artist shortly after Rhonda's birth, a devastating blow to her spirit. Seeking refuge, Diana married Robert Silverstein, yearning for tranquility to escape Gordy's influence. However, that peace proved elusive. Gordy's interference caused conflict and constant arguments with Silverstein. By 1977, their marriage ended, leaving Diana adrift, emotionally lost. Her professional life flourished. However, she bore the silent wounds of love's betrayals, her beautiful voice concealing a heart that had loved deeply and received only solitude. 3. Lena Horne, a life marked by romantic tragedy. Lena Horne, a brilliant star in the 1940s and 1950s music and film scenes, embodied black beauty and artistic prowess. Yet her celebrated career masked profound romantic suffering. Her 1937 marriage to Louise Jones initially promised joy. Post-wedding, however, her happiness shattered. Louis, her beloved, became a physically and emotionally abusive spouse. From 1938 to 1943, she endured beatings, constant criticism, and cruelty, sustaining lasting physical and emotional trauma. She ultimately escaped this agonizing relationship, but the scars remained. A subsequent romance with Lenny Hayden, a white musician, presented further challenges. Their love faced familial and societal opposition. In a prejudiced era, their interracial relationship was unacceptable. Their journey together was fraught with threats, scorn, and professional isolation. Lena Horne died on May 9, 2010, at 92, after a lengthy struggle with heart failure. She passed peacefully in New York, still bearing the emotional wounds of racism and failed relationships. 2. Florence Ballard, a captivating star in the Motown scene, the core of the Supremes. Her music became legendary in R&B, yet who could imagine the suffering concealed beneath her radiant exterior? In the summer of 1968, with the Supremes' decline, Florence lost her stage presence, her seemingly endless source of support. During this difficult period, Thomas Chapman, a Motown driver, entered her life. He initially offered her solace amidst the turmoil. Brief car conversations, kind words of comfort. Was this enough to heal a deeply wounded heart? By late 1968, they wed. Florence, like many women, hoped Chapman would guide her from the darkness. However, she soon discovered her error. His fits of rage and harsh words transformed their home into a living nightmare. Trapped in her marriage, Florence turned to alcohol to escape the pain. Did anyone caution her before it was too late? From 1970 to 1975, her career disintegrated. The woman who once basked in glory was now consumed by despair. Chapman was no longer the man she loved, but a controlling presence. One night following a performance, Florence returned to a tense atmosphere. Upon entering, Chapman's jealousy erupted. He questioned her relentlessly, her whereabouts, her conversations, even a smile directed at someone else. His unfounded suspicions suffocated her, leaving her breathless. Did she even recognize herself during those endless drunken nights? When had Florence last felt genuine love? Their marriage, a tragic foreshadowing, ended in divorce in 1971, culminating in Florence Ballard's suffering and mental breakdown. On a cold morning in 1976, Florence Ballard died at 32, alone and utterly devastated. Years of alcohol abuse and emotional turmoil had eroded her belief in love and life. That last night, she sat alone in her room, utterly isolated. Sleeping pills were scattered on the table, a symbol of her final despair. Her death was not just the end of a star. It represented the culmination of deep, unhealed wounds that forever marked her soul. 1. Natalie Cole, a life under the glare of fame. The daughter of the iconic Nat King Cole, Natalie possessed a stunning R&B voice that dominated the 70s and 90s music scene. Her unforgettable songs and numerous Grammy Awards brought her global recognition. Yet beneath the surface brilliance, her personal life was marked by profound pain. At the height of her career, she fell for Marvin Yancey, a talented music producer. Their connection blossomed in the recording studio amidst late-night sessions where their love story unfolded in harmonious tunes and hopes for a happy future. She believed she'd found her sanctuary, but Marvin's true nature gradually emerged, revealing a troubled spirit. He would disappear for nights on end, returning with a vacant stare. Arguments about finances hinted at a deeper, more destructive problem. One night, Natalie discovered him collapsed at his desk, surrounded by scattered papers, the signs of his hidden addiction glaringly obvious. She tried to rouse him, but his incoherent words provided no solace. In that instant, she realized their marriage was irrevocably broken. By 1980, Natalie left Marvin, but the emotional wounds lingered. She sought solace in substance abuse, attempting to escape a painful reality. Sleepless nights merged into draining days, and she gradually lost her sense of self. Despite her attempts to recapture her former brilliance, the shadows of her past remained. In 2015, in a quiet Los Angeles room, a weak lamp illuminated Natalie Cole's frail figure. The R&B superstar lay there, depleted by years of sorrow, her heart finally succumbing. No music, no cheering crowds, just the steady tick of the clock and her fading breath disappearing into the silence. The poignant melodies she once sang seemed to echo in the space, enveloping her in utter isolation. Natalie ultimately paid a heavy price for love and loss, leaving behind unseen scars as the spotlight finally faded. 15 lives we've just examined serve as compelling evidence, supporting the adage, beauty invites tragedy. These gifted individuals, blessed with exceptional talent and captivating beauty, suffered unimaginable pain and loss. They poured their hearts and souls into their art and love, yet in return, they received irreparable wounds, experiencing lives dominated by violence, treachery, and isolation. What are your reflections on the hardships these women encountered? Leave your opinions in the comments section. Also, remember to like, subscribe to our channel, and activate notifications to ensure you don't miss narratives that will alter your perspective on Hollywood.